don't think I can put that there. It was raining.
Sorry.
It was raining here earlier today.
Yeah, it's finally like getting to the spot where it's like I'm wearing a sweater. It's like muggy outside, but like I can wear a sweater.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's nice. Ooh,
it's probably
Juan is
still really
joining
humid.
us.
Let's go. What's going on, Juan?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Dude, how's your week?
My weekend, it was good, dude. I started doing this like Christmas lights deal with my friend.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
yeah, so we kind of started on that. We went and knocked some doors, so I'm excited about it. See
For
how?
hanging up Christmas lights?
Yeah. We wanna hang out some Christmas lights around the neighborhood.
Dude, I
Just
love
do
it.
some shit. Yeah. We're trying to. Well,
Entrepreneur.
we're in the hot tub, and it's like, dude, why don't we do it? Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
why not? You
I
know?
love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. How was yours?
Dude, it was great. Dude, it was good. Just spent a lot of time with family.
Uh-huh.
Really, really good to see everybody and just,
Didn't you
yeah.
travel somewhere?
I did. I went to Miami, but I'm back now. Yep.
How was that?
Dude, it was awesome. The weather was beautiful. Got to see my buddy. Dude, it was really good. Got some work done. It was just a fun trip. The drivers are crazy though. The
In
drivers are
Miami?
crazy. Yeah, dude, they're wild.
I
Ubers.
don't know. Here in Texas, it's pretty
Yeah,
insane too.
dude. Yeah, Texas is pretty. I'm sure Houston's pretty wild, but
Yeah,
yeah. But dude, it was great. Yeah.
that doesn't do. Well, you have to have fun.
Hmm.
Hey Jayden, how's it going?
Was like, I couldn't tell if I was muted or not. Hold up, but
You're not. You're good.
guys, you said you're from Miami. Let's make a quick intro. Let's see, I see.
Oh,
He has
that's funny.
to.
No, no, I was just
I,
visiting. I was
Oh,
visiting.
okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Where's everyone
Where are
from?
you from?
I'm from Portland. I'm like up here in like Gresham, Oregon. Like, if you know where Portland's from, it's where Jimmy, well, Vancouver, but
yeah.
Pacific Northwest. So
Yes, dude, I love it, bro. I
yeah,
love it.
I
I
love
was
it.
just in,
So
dude, I love that area. I was just in Washington or Seattle the other day,
yeah,
and I dig that area.
yeah.
So,
Seattle's got the absolute worst. If you're talking bad drivers, Seattle's is like literally the worst place ever for it. So
is it really?
oh yeah, bro. I-5. Yes. It's like
That's
the
so
lanes intermerge, dude. You're like driving down the freeway going like 70 miles an hour. The lanes are like it's
It's
terrible.
no,
worse that
it's
you're
definitely
living in
bad,
Houston.
dude. It's definitely bad, but I think you got to go to Miami and then Texas, and
Oh yeah.
then let me know.
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. You gotta go to Colombia, where I'm from. Like
Oh
over
yeah.
there, it's not even, it's like
There's no
it's
rules.
no comparison. Over like stop sign is a suggestion. People don't
No,
take
no,
it
no.
serious.
I'll have to take like intensive driving courses if I go to
Let's
Colombia.
go.
Like, oh,
I don't even look when I go back. I never drive. I let my friends drive. I don't know.
no,
Like, yeah, you guys are
absolutely. You'll
crazy.
catch me on a
Yeah.
scooter in Colombia
Yo,
actually as well.
Jay.
Yeah, I don't drive over there.
Yeah.
I love
Is
it.
this
Who
everyone?
else?
Is this
Who else is out
Yeah.
here that's from a different place? We have, well, I'm in Houston. Juan is in Houston. Jayden's in Portland, Oregon. Michael, you're in Michigan. No?
Yes, for the moment. For the moment.
Question mark.
Right.
You're somewhere new every week. Who else is on?
Jake, tell him where you're from. Jake, tell him where you're from, bro.
Yo, what's up?
Where you
Can you
from, bro? Tell him.
hear? I'm from Austin. Well, I'm from Dallas, but I live in San Marcos, right next to Austin, Texas.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I
Frankie,
need to
let
go to
us know where
Texas.
you're from. Frankie has to say where he's from every single call. It's hilarious.
Literally.
Hello, hello everyone. I'm Frank. I am from I am from Idaho.
Nice.
Oh, beast.
We're
Yep.
so happy you're
Beast.
here.
Thanks, guys. Good to be
I
here.
love it.
Good to be here.
Dude, let's get it. All right, well, let's get into it. Gemma, if you want to start us off.
Ah,
Thank you guys for all coming.
thank you so much for coming. I want to recap the goal for us all to be here. It's to inspire or learn something new. And this is a journey of lifelong learning. And I'm really happy to have created this little group with Michael for us to get together and learn something about health, mindset, success, all aspects of being human as young adults, and for us to learn and grow together and to always stay curious and up level with each other. And the best way to do it is with community. And because some of my best friends and inspiring people live so far, different places all over the country. I decided to put y'all on a Zoom call and talk with you in person. So I want to start off by everyone going around and telling me one thing you're grateful for today, and just just one thing, just literally that's it. My first thing, I'll go. I'm grateful for having a tight-knit family and a family like today. My grandma called me out in the car about something, and I was able to rebuttal, but tight-knit family that we're able to talk with each other in a really genuine way.
Mm,
That's cool.
that's really good. What you got, Juan?
I'm grateful for the day. Like today, I had a really good day. At work, I had this guy, and he's got Alzheimer's going on, and it was pretty great to just hear him. What we do here helps him, and he feels a difference. And so, just listening to him and him being thankful for that just made me thankful as well. So I'm grateful for that
Mm, that's good. That's
for
good. What
sure.
you got, Jayden?
Today, I mean, pretty similar to Gemma. I mean, I'm grateful for a lot of different things. I'm grateful that like I'm in a position where I can kind of just take a moment to, like kind of almost check out and reground myself. Like I kind of just literally just got back from my own grandparents, so I was just kicking it with them. But super grateful for my family still being around and also being local to my family is huge. So definitely something I'm very mindful of and happy to be able to, take advantage of because not everyone's in that situation. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Frankie, let it hit us with it, Frankie.
I'm very grateful for my great great grandmother. This week I got to hang out with her. She just moved into an old folks home, and so she needs help getting around, like to her hair appointments. She does her hair twice a month, and I got to spend, I don't know, 3 hours, 4 hours with her.
Wow.
It's just fun to hang out with super old people. They have so much wisdom. She's just fun.
Cool.
So I'm just grateful for family, but especially her this week.
Hmm.
Good, I love it.
I
I love
love
it. Jake, what you got, Jake?
What's up? Man, I think I'm grateful for just the gift of life this week. And I think in the context of um like being able to live life with Jesus and have him speak to me as like his like a son is like super um it's super beyond like a blessing to be able to like live life with your creator
Mm,
and know like how much life how much of life is a gift and to appreciate that and to keep learning
yeah.
and be able to make a difference here on earth with the source of life that you're receiving coming from
Mm,
God. It's a whole new perspective. And so I'm just grateful for that. And so that's kind of the best way I could sum that up.
beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, I love it. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. Alex, you got something real quick? Alex is on here. Let's go.
Yeah, I would say that I'm very grateful for unconditional love by God. A lot of times we view ourselves or downgrade ourselves or see ourselves as our sin or any negative things, but God's love is so beautiful that sometimes we can't even comprehend it, but it's so unconditional and so
Yeah,
eternal that that's like the best gratefulness I can receive, to be honest. Yeah.
dude. Dude, I love it, bro. Dude, it's so good. So good.
Michael, what are you grateful
Thank you. Today I'm grateful for community and just friendships. Had a really good coffee with a buddy today, and we just talked about we were in a coffee shop, and he asked me if I was more like independent or relying on other people, and I was like, it's a really good question, and I was like, I think I'm definitely independent as because he was asking on a trip I'm going on solo, and he was kind of curious, and we started talking, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm more independent, but I love people. I love being around people as much as I can. Um, and we kind of just had to talk about how people are everything. And so I'm really grateful for people my age and older, people I can get wisdom from, younger even, but just community and just the fact that we're able to just like learn from so many unique people. And even if we're not the exact same, there's so much you can learn. So I'm so grateful for people because that's what lights up the world. I mean, it's like people just communicating and loving and sharing, and I mean that's what it's all about. So that's what I'm really grateful for. It's just good people.
Yeah. I love that we're all here. Like it makes me so happy. Um,
Yeah.
so I invited my friend Jayden onto this call because I want to quiz him about some things. He made a post the other day, and I was like, "What?" I don't even remember the specifics of the post, and I won't out you on it, but I really want to know, and I want to have people hear about your success within sales and the businesses or the companies you worked for, and how you even got into the industry. So, what industry are you in right now? Give us the scoop.
Yeah, so well, sales is like the whole scheme of the industry, right? That's a pretty broad like brushstroke for what people typically do. But in each industry, there's like niches, right? So like you think about people that do sales, they might do solar, maybe they do like pest control, maybe they do who knows, like Windows or something like that. The industry that I work in particular is called SaaS, so software as a service. I found myself in software, see, March of 2022 or something like that. But I actually started out in real estate, so I just got some basic fundamental like sales skills through that when I was like 19 years old. I just had a knack for it. I mean, everyone's got this like journey dream with real estate and a lot of different things that involve sales. And there's this kind of picture painted that everything's going to be perfect and things will kind of work out. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. And I was actually in a position where originally, when I started in real estate, like transparently, I actually kind of failed like entirely, to keep it a buck with you guys. I don't know all of you guys personally, but I'll admit to anyone that in the very beginning, when I first started everything and I was essentially broke and kind of useless, I worked at a warehouse and then I was unemployed. But anyway, I had some money saved up. Let's just say that. And I blew all of it. So I was like, dang, what am I going to do now? Like, this is really bad. I'm like in a bad position, because for context, I was 19. So I didn't go to school or nothing. And I could have gone to school, but I don't know, I don't like that. But long story short, yeah, I was in real estate. I actually, uh, this is kind of a theme in my story, is like butterfly events, or like butterfly effect, or like if, whether you believe in faith or like weird events, or like what manifestation, however you want to put it, whatever the spiritual preference you have is, like there's been a lot of moments in my life where things that have been really bad have turned into like really good.
Mm.
So to kind of expand on that, when I was in real estate, like the interest rates doubled. I lost like pretty much half of my clientele as a first time home buyer's agent, with Redfin. So I was just like showing houses and stuff. It was nothing crazy, but it was my first step. But then I lost like half my income. I was like, dang, yet again, I'm right back to square one. Like I feel, like a failure. Um, but it's a long story, but I kind of worked on like networking when I was doing real estate. I met a lot of different people with a lot of different backgrounds. I was like blessed with an opportunity to like be put in, I guess you could say, like intimate situations with people who had influence in whatever they were doing. They're somehow involved enough to where they can afford a house, so they're doing something right. So I got a lot of like really good advice. And one of the guys I met was like a medical device salesperson. He was telling me, he's like, yeah, like if you just get into like corporate sales, or you position yourself where you're marketable for a company, if you ever want to get into this, you can absolutely kill it. But of course, I thought to myself, like I had a very self-limiting belief. I was like, man, like I don't have an education. I'm not a doctor. There's no way I could do that. Like the hell. At the time, I had a partner, and her mom was an executive recruiter, um, for her career, but she had since retired and started like a career coaching service. I'm sure you guys have probably seen stuff like that, like on the internet.
Yep.
But she kind of mentored me on like how to brand myself, how to make a really like good resume, and like a good story. Also, just like how to sell myself. And magically, like I said, like through God knows what, the first job I applied to, the first software job I applied to in 2021 was this company in Vancouver called Zoom Info. So we did B2B data sales. And I got in on the sales floor there, and it was a boiler room, like the complete max, but I was able to actually like exceed my quota like every month, which was insane.
Those
And then I
stories
worked there.
were crazy when you told me. I was like,
Yeah.
what? What?
Yeah, they're just, I don't know if anyone in here done sales. Has anyone done anything like that? Does anyone?
I have
Yes.
done
Yeah.
sales.
What did you guys do? Because
Done sales.
what kind of, yeah, what have you guys done?
I've done doTERRA.
Oh,
So
okay.
selling doTERRA
Yeah.
essential oils.
Yep.
There's a lot of different ways you can sell.
Yes.
You can do attraction marketing online, Instagram, whatever. I
Exactly.
was doing cold calls on people
Yep.
from my list. Anyway, it's difficult, man. You get
Yes.
rejected and it sucks. So
Yeah.
you
All
mentioned you
day,
did sales.
all
I
day
mean,
long, dude. That's all I did.
praise to you, dude, for sticking
Yeah.
with it because it's good. It's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I was making like 90 cold calls a day. We had to be rated. It was a boiler room, but it gave me the opportunity. It's like all about what I'm saying is you got to take an opportunity when you see it. And I put everything I had into that job. So I got promoted, and then I went to complete B2B outbound sales. So I worked with other businesses, like enterprise level businesses, so mid market and above, so like 100 employees to 500 employees plus, depending on the segment. So I got this really big deal. Long story short, really big deal with Grammarly for like $240,000. I didn't make that, but I made my company that, and it was like a big deal for me and my leader and stuff like that. And it's corporate America, so it's very sharky. But I started realizing, I'm like, man, I gotta get out of it. Like, this is look, I just made all of them all this money, and they're telling me I'm not gonna get promoted again. Like for like another 2 years. They will continue to carrot dangle you. I don't know what you want to apply that to in your life, but a lot of people will breadcrumb you for their own advantage. So you have to know when someone's doing that. And that's how I felt. I'm upset, man. I'm gonna get out of here. So I just put it on my resume, marketed myself, and then again, turn of events, literal like a miracle, straight up. I get the exact job I want with the exact promotion I wanted externally, and it's the only job I applied for. Like, and so far it's been the best job I could literally ever ask for. So sometimes it's just about like taking the first step and kind of just going from there. But I'm really not that special. I don't know. I was telling Gemma, I'm like, man, I'm not that I'm not that crazy, but
You
I've
somehow
had
have a
success.
knack for it. I mean, you went down, like you said, it was the boiler room doing 90, 70 cold calls a day.
Yeah,
Like I say I do doTERRA. I mean, I do not land that many contacts in a month, you know? Uh,
yeah.
and so, but I want to know, like, there was that time from 19 to now that you obviously went through the boiler room, as you say, for a certain period of time working for Zoom Info. What was the thing that you worked on to attune for yourself to like what was the thing that you started to learn that was like, okay, I can twist this about a sale. I can twist this about a sale within a conversation.
Oh, oh, easy. Yeah. So like the easiest and best way to possibly sell on anything is pain. Okay. So for a business to business environment, a company's going to have some sort of issue going on that they need solved, or maybe they have something that's already solving that issue, and there's a dollar price associated with it. So what we did like data and stuff like that, so that sales teams could like run at maximum capacity, and they had all the contact info they needed for other companies to sell their product.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a very expensive solution because it makes a lot of money. So it's all about connecting it. So it's like, let's say you're talking to somebody. It might be different if you're going with the consumer, but you need to find something internally with them that resonates with what the outcome they're trying to get is. So maybe they just, I don't know, I guess if you're selling oils or something, it might be a little bit different. Maybe they just want to smell something nice or something. But if you could find something where it's like internal, where it's like, oh, yeah, like I'm just like so sleep deprived, or I'm just like my back hurts or something. You can really get into that and get into the root cause. Okay, well, why do you think like your back hurts, and kind of just get them to talk about it. So I guess the easiest way to say it is really just sell on pain and do a lot of discovery. Don't sell until you know exactly what's going on, because it's like, why would you pitch early? That's nothing I learned too. Right. We would be doing inbound, like we would be qualifying these leads into sales appointments for people that just clicked on a website for them, but they own a business, so they have some sort of influence in a business. If you can identify whatever they're doing, we would work with people in like plastics, like recruiting, staffing, like PR, everything. It's like you got to know what they're doing and how they're doing it currently, and then you can either drop in a picture of the dream vision of how they can do it, or you can solve something in the process that they're doing currently. And it's about making that connection. And as soon as you make that connection, then you have traction. So it's like you still don't want to close them yet. To be honest, how should I put it? Like probably like you kind of need to like it's a slow burn. Like it's a slow burn. You don't want to just like be like, oh, you should just buy this. Just kind of talk to them. It's a normal person. Even in business to business sales, you really got to know like at the end of the day, this is the person, and the more that you can try and just connect with them individually so that it resonates, they're gonna like you a little bit more. They're gonna trust you a little bit more. And it's like if you really show that you're trying to just advocate for them, then they're way more likely to work with you or for you. So it's a process, and it's also kind of trying to identify how committed to solving the problem. They really are. If you could suss that out, you'll save yourself a lot of time. Because
Yeah.
if someone's hesitant, they're just going to keep stringing you along, and it's like you're really not doing anything advantageous by trying to coerce someone into a decision. That's not really what sales is, in my opinion, at least. I've never tried to just
Yeah.
be like, oh, you should do this because you're just going to boom this, that, this. It's like, no, you got to kind of feel them out. And the other thing is getting someone to verbalize what the pain is that they're going through themselves. And so that they say it out loud themselves and they recognize it.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you could draw back on in any circumstance. And it's not like in a shady, like manipulative, like gaslighter way or something like that. Like you really don't want to come off that way. You just want to reconnect with it. So it's like they tell you what the problem is. It's like, well, you told me, this was going on and it was causing you this. Like, would you be open to at least seeing if this works for you? Like, does this make sense? Like, how can I make this make sense for you? And if they're really just like, oh no, like, nah, then to just drop the sale, because at that point you're kind of just damaging your own like rep, in my opinion, because people don't want to work with individuals who are, you call it like commission breath. It's like you can tell that person doesn't care about you. A good example is like my last deal, like this has been my biggest deal, like my biggest month of my career. And like the reason I got it is because I showed that I was advocating for this guy. I wasn't just trying to take his money and tell him to like screw off. Like to summarize it, bro was trying to leave a contract. We do contracts. I work a book of business I work for a dealership software company currently. So we run like half the dealerships in America, from Texas West, and that's what I manage is Texas West, but just through our software. And he was trying to leave, and he had 8 months left on his term. He was starting to cancel, and I had to come back to this dude and tell him I wouldn't give him any crediting unless he signed more term from us. And he like laughed in my face. And at the end of the conversation, I was like, well, listen, like Jason, like I'm really trying to advocate for you here, and if I can get you a deal and you're willing to work with me, I'm happy to do whatever it takes. And I hung up the phone, and I was like, yeah, it's a lost sale, like whatever. Don't like, I guess I'll find another one. And he called me back like 40 minutes later. He's like, well, what can you get me? Like, what can we do here? And I think at the very end of the conversation, I showed like, yo, man, I'm a human too. Like at the end of the day, I kind of just work for this company. Like, I don't really care how much we discount, or whatever the case is. I just want to make this work for you. So that's really showing that you care, being a person to kind of, it's the best skill, and pain, and just like having empathy. Like, oh, yeah, like that's like, what can we do to fix it? Like, and yeah, if your service connects, then great. But the other thing is you got to work somewhere, or either if you're doing it as a business owner, you have to provide a solution that you're confident like truly makes sense and truly solves a problem. Or if you're working for someone else, that software in my case, or maybe window frame, whatever the case is, really does work and solves a problem, because then you could sell completely on that, and that's what's going to give you most traction, and it gives you rep too. They like it. So yeah,
that's good. Dude, that's
long.
really good. On another note, as far as like natural skill and talent, I got like two-part questions here. But how did you discover that, I guess, natural talent, or that is it that easy part that comes naturally with talking to people or communicating and getting your point across while advocating for them? And what opportunities did you take on early to exercise that natural skill?
Oh God. But yeah, I think like, well, I mean, it's hard to say because it kind of started in real estate, because I was just talking to them like a person. Like it's very, like I said, it's intimate, not in a weird way. Just like, yo, we're in a house together. Like we're probably gonna get to know each other a little bit. Like I should figure out what they truly want. Like, because I'm not gonna try and sell them some garbage piece of shit house that they absolutely have no reason to buy. It's gonna like screw them over. So that definitely did it. But early, like I got my start, like my feet wet or whatever you want to call it. My grandpa's an antique dealer. So when I was like 15, 16, I would go work the expo booth with him. And my grandpa is like a straight up hustler. Like, bro is like, he owns a massive, like, he's an OG e-com guy, but for antiques. Like, he runs an eBay store, and he's wildly, it's a hobby. He just loves it. But he would walk around like the expo center, and he just knows everyone. And everyone knows that my grandpa knows everything. And so, like, he's just an expert in his niche, and he likes to sell railroad goods. So everyone there would always come up like, Mike, what do you have? Like, what's going on? This, that, this. And they just chop it up with him because they just like talking to him. So if you can like, get someone to kind of like you as a person, and then if you affiliate it with whatever business venture or whatever you're talking about, then that'll work. But I don't know, that's where it kind of made sense to me, and that's why I wanted to do real estate eventually, because originally, because I thought I was like, man, like this will work, but sometimes life kind of will just show you like, oh, actually, it's like you're not really who you think you are. Because I think that's another thing too, is being really, really humble. I'm literally right now. So this is my sister's old room. So I still live at home. Like, so also being humble definitely helped me. But does that answer your question for like how I
Yeah.
decided? I guess, yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's really good. Dude,
Yeah,
that's really good stuff.
yeah.
Is
Just
what
act
about
normal.
like yeah, what about like right now, like leaning into that you're uncomfortable or is it uncomfortable to be like obviously leaning into being humble, leaning into discomfort, being at your home, being in your sister's room. That's what part of that does it create friction for you? Do you look for that friction or are you just like, you know, how
I don't
does that
think it's fiction. I think it grounds me actually, because I was having this conversation with my buddies, like have some beers with them, like two. Well, it was actually my best friend's birthday, and I hadn't seen a couple of them in a while, and they're asking me like, "Oh, it was worked out." And I was like, "Well," they're like, they were like, honestly, guys, like it kind of makes me uncomfortable when people like not look up to me, but like think I'm like something special, because I'm really not. I was like, man, I still live at home. Like I still, like I think it's good to stay grounded and almost like pretend you're a bum. I like to pretend I'm a bum. Like it's kind of fun. Like I take care of myself, obviously, but like just don't act like you're, more than you are before you're actually ready for it. Because I feel like at what point would you have to continue working for at that? Like it's like I don't know. Like I guess it's kind of lame. It's like I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone has a different lifestyle, but I like to stay pretty bummy.
Well, it's nice too because you have like a nice takeoff, like a plane. Like you're like it's like a long landing strip, and you're taking plenty of time till you're really ready to take flight. Because I'm sure you could have taken flight a long time ago,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's smart. It's smart because, like, and I don't know why in this culture sometimes, and at least in America, it's like if you're still living with your parents, it's like you're like looked down upon. But in Europe, like that's a really normal
so
thing to
calm.
like
Yeah,
study for
yeah.
like I met some really cool guys in Italy and they like lived with their parents and they were like 20, like 7, 28, but it
Hmm.
like wasn't weird. Like it was like a really good thing and they were
Yeah,
like studying in school and like enjoying life with their family and it was like normal. But
yeah.
here and I think it's like yeah, so I like you saying that because I totally agree. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think if you're taking advantage of that and not doing anything with your time, I think that's when it becomes an issue. But if you're like doing it for the right cause, like you're doing,
It's a mission. Yeah, definitely.
totally love it, bro. That's so good. I have one question to kind of like wrap that up. Um, what advice would you give to someone in this call on like sales or on like just like finding your certain niche or um like what advice would you give them if they had something they wanted to sell or some type of natural talent they wanted to unlock? What would you recommend the best way to go about finding that and then once you find it actually conveying that message to where people are attracted to it and want to partake in whatever it might be?
Yeah. Well, there's like two roads for that. I guess it depends. So if you already have something that you're selling, let's say like you already are in a place where you're selling and that's what you're doing, whether it's for another person or yourself, being able to find something that you're kind of passionate about, you're kind of nerdy about, that like kind of, I guess, like intellectually stimulates you, is going to be really good for conveying passion. So luckily for me, when I was talking to people about, go to market data, it was always business owners. And I've always loved business. Like I'm always nerdy about how people process out and structure whatever they're doing or selling or however they're making money. I think it's really fascinating. So that gives you the ability to actually be curious. So depending on what you're providing, you want to ask things that show genuine curiosity because it does something for you. So find something. Everyone says that, oh, find your passion. I know it's hard to do, but I was fortunate enough to where I was talking to people that shared a similar vision or dream to me, but they're just in business for whatever thing that they're doing themselves. And then for the second part of the question is if you don't have any experience and if you're trying to get that experience, everyone's going to say get a mentor. You can get a mentor. It helps. I didn't really have a mentor. I think I had a mentor in a way with like how to you know make a resume and stuff like that, how to market myself. But I think it's really important to try and get an understanding of what the industry you're entering into looks like and what's normal for it and what's not, as well as what solutions are already in that marketplace. One of the most important things you need to look at in any sales role is the product market fit. So what kind of like what I was saying, well, what problem does this solution solve? Because if it's bad, then you're going to be putting yourself in a position where you're kind of just like, I don't want to be negative, but you're more likely bound to fail because why are you selling something that doesn't work, right? So you want to get into something you know is probably going to work. Most of the times you're going to have to start out in an entry level role. That's how it is. So you need to emotionally prepare yourself to like be really humble and kind of eat dirt for like at least a year. That's kind of just how a lot of these places go. I'm mostly talking as an employee. It's much different, right? But as an employee, you need to farm experience. You need to make yourself credible. You need to show that you can hold something down. You need to show that you can be consistent, all that stuff. And as soon as you get your foot in the door, that's when things really start kind of coming together. That's when you need to adopt the mindset where it's like, this is do or die. I know it's really corny, but it's like, for me, at my Zoom Info, that was my first and only software job. It was my first job in the industry, and I knew what I could bring it to in terms of income in the future. And it's a very legit job, right? Like this is a corporate job, so I didn't want to mess that up for myself long term. So it was a lot of pressure and stress, but building the strategies necessary to keep that consistency as well is really important because you're going to burn out really fast if you're that passionate about it and you're working that hard. So I'm sure many people in this room probably do some sort of fitness or like activity. So yeah, be on top of that, take breaks for yourself too. Um, I think it's just also really having it in your spirit. How much do you really want it? That's corny too. Everyone says that, but you really got to put yourself in a corner and say like, all right, wherever, oh, this is how I see it. You got to put yourself back against the wall. I can't do anything else. This is it. If I screw this up, like whatever, I'm screwed. And once you're in that moment, you'll have so much pressure on yourself where you show up every day and you're just in like straight performance. That's how I work, at least. Like I'm just in a performance mode. I'm in a flow state. Like I need to get this done. Otherwise, where else am I gonna go? Right. Like to give context, it's nothing shameful, but my dad is a septic like maintenance man, like he's a tradesman. Okay. And the last thing I want to be doing is out right now in the Oregon, wind and rain, pumping a poop tank. Okay. My dad is an incredibly hard worker. He's an amazing man, is a great guy. Okay. But his job is very hard. So you gotta be like, all right, what could I rather be doing right now? Right. Like what are the consequences
Yeah.
if I don't do this? So
Yeah.
I think
Dude,
it's
that's
really,
so good.
yeah,
like that.
really important.
How do
Because
you
it's like,
feel
what
like,
are you doing it for?
yeah, how do you feel like things like training or like friend circle, community relationships, do you allow those kind of things to assist in putting your like back against the wall, or is it just you in your own head and what you want to accomplish? Like, do you use external activities or forces to put apply pressure on yourself?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure you guys have probably read like Atomic Habits, right? Like, I'll give myself some sort of like positive conditioning to where like I'll accomplish a task and be like, oh, this is my reward or whatever the case is, like basic stuff like that. Social circle, it's like making it now, not making an effort. As soon as you tell someone something, it's like you really got. If it's like if you're a man of your word or you're someone who's like actually takes action when they're gonna say that you do, being able to tell the people close to you that you're doing something and then acting on it is really powerful because now you have that pressure as well. Like, oh man, like I've told everyone I'm doing this and I'm gonna do it. Like I gotta do it, right?
Yeah.
I also being disciplined, obviously, very important. If you can't show up for yourself, you're probably not gonna be able to show up for like your dreams and career and stuff like that. So being kind of tight regimen. But I also take a lot of time. I'm not perfect like at all. Like I'm literally not perfect. I'm also like kind of lazy a lot of times. So and crazy. Like I like to do stupid stuff. So like I'll take time to like be goofy and dumb and remind myself I'm a kid. Again, I'm 22. Like I'm not that old. So take that off yourself. But I don't know. Like I said, back against the wall. And in terms of friends, I don't know. I really just hang out with people I've been close with since I was like 14. Like I'm really tight knit with my friends, and I'm totally open to new friends. But I have people who know me since I was like a kid. My best friend still to this day. I've known him since I was 3. He's my brother. So it's like be really close with people. It's important. Have the community. That definitely
Yeah,
helps.
that
But
like answered our last question that we were gonna ask of like how do values connect you, your values, your personal like perspective on life and what your vision is, what keeps you grounded as you're on that long landing strip or yeah, that take
exactly. It's a marathon, really is. Like I don't know how old everyone is in this call, but if we're all in our 20s, like we're really just like this is really just the start. Like I really firmly believe in that. I know a lot of people, even when I was at Zoom Info, like the first software company, they had just gotten started in it and they were like 32. You know what I mean? So it's like everyone's on their own little different journey. Everyone's on a different pace. But being 22 as I am, it's like, yeah, man, I got 15 years before I'm like, I guess, old or whatever you want to call it. So it's a very
Right.
long, it's a long landing strip. So you could do whatever you want, you know. But I think it's really important too to have something in your back pocket long term that will sustain you, like a skill. So whether it's sales or
Yeah.
whatever you do, a skill, just be skilled. Yeah.
Thank you so
Do
much.
Yeah,
something.
that's so good. Thanks for sharing, bro.
Oh yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Like I
That's
said
really
though, I'm
good.
really not all that. Swear to God, I'm not all that. Gemma just
No,
asked.
that's cool. That it's just a cool perspective to have
It's
because
perspective.
everyone's in different positions. It's all perspective, which I like because
For sure.
yeah. So that's really cool. We're running close on time here. So before the call, we have 2 minutes.
Yeah, like under 2 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my
Oh, it gives
goodness.
you guys a timer. Oh, I forgot about that, huh?
I know we might start real quick, like a quick announcement. I think we're working on starting a group chat and figuring out a little bit longer calls. But thank y'all for joining, and we'll let the call run out. And I know Gemma, you have some things to say, but thank y'all for coming. We're gonna try and get a group chat figured out. The call's every Monday at this time. And yeah, if anyone has anything, leave it in the comments. Any questions, any topics. We're gonna be going over a lot of like
Sure. I
stuff
would
like that.
love to hear guests that you
Yeah,
guys have. Jayden, we would
Yeah.
love for you to join us again. You're welcome to come.
seriously,
Yeah.
Jayden, we gotta get connected, brother. I
Jayden.
don't know if you're on Instagram, but let's get
Yeah, I'm on
connected.
Instagram. I got LinkedIn too. If you guys like professionally need anything, I don't know where everyone's at, but I got LinkedIn. I have like a lot of people, in my network that are in positions that are whether it's entry level or not. And in this industry and a lot of other sales industries, we promote recruiting, obviously, and there's a lot of things that are involved in that, but there's a lot of doors that you can open. So if you guys like ever need anything, feel free to hit me up there too. And I can either point you in the right direction or give you like a good resource or connection or advice or whatever. Like I'm always happy to talk about professional stuff as well. So
Yeah, dude.
just
Thank you, bro.
yeah,
Thanks,
absolutely. It's
guys.
great meeting all you guys too.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Right.
Frank. You got something real quick? We probably
No,
like almost done.
just saying thanks. I think a group chat would be cool so we can share information. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get that set up soon, but we're probably about to run out of time. So,
sweet.
yeah, I'm
Okay.
gonna try and work on it. But Jayden, that was great, bro. Seriously,
Yeah,
thanks for sharing.
Man.
Thanks for
yeah,
everyone for coming. Jake,
Appreciate you,
Thank
Mike.
you. Thank
Gemma,
you.
good to meet
you
you.
guys are
Jayden,
awesome.
Juan, Frankie, Alex, good to see you, brother. Miss you.
Alex,
Nice to meet
Juan.
you.